I'm willing to bet that those same guys that say that women peak in their when they're 22 are the same men who turn 60 years old and start liking kids. It was probably about 5 or 6 years ago where, for the first time ever, I've heard online somebody say that women peak at 21 years old, and I was just like, huh, okay, well let me look at that. So I went on Instagram and I went on some girls' pages that I went to school with when I was in high school, and I just looked at their pages, and it was very evident that, if we were around 20, 22 at the time, I don't remember the exact age, but I was looking just as general evidence. Okay, well, let's take this girl, for example. I'm scrolling through her Instagram, I'm like, okay, she looks all right now. But then I scrolled down to where she was in high school, and I'm like, oh, so this girl actually peaked in high school. And everything has been downhill ever since. And I was like, okay, well, that kind of backs up that claim. And I looked at a few more, and I thought you can literally see in their post history how they were really young, then they started looking their best, and then they kind of started backing down a bit. And in general, on a far enough view that that it just kind of made sense. I was like, oh yeah, okay. I'll take it. I believe it. But it's just furthest from the truth. It's not true. It's just not true. And I'm not saying this. I'm not trying to be some kind of white knight and trying to defend women or something. That's not even why I'm making this video. This isn't even for women. This is for men. Because I think hearing a lot of red pillars talk about how women are basically spoiled goods after they turn 22, it's brought up a generation of young men that believe it, and believe it to where, oh shit, this girl's 22, she's useless. Next, throw her to the side, even if she did nothing wrong. Because, and I have a few arguments to actually make. I have a few points. I'm not going to sit here and actually say that, oh well, this is a general statement that most women peak at 21, but I found a outlier to the rule. That's not a smart argument. Instead, there's a couple things that stand out. The first and easiest argument that I can make is the fact that when a girl's 21 years old, she isn't even fully developed. Her body isn't developed. If you look at girls going to the gym, so let's just say, okay, why pick on the girl that doesn't take care of herself? You can pick on the man who doesn't take care of himself either. Let's look at girls who actually take care of themselves. They go to the gym. Well, a 21-year-old, maybe she just started working out. How can a 21-year-old, even if she's been doing this for years, she's not going to have that bone density, the developed muscle mass, just that structure of a woman. She's still going to look like a girl. She's going to look like someone like a teenager. And when I look around, I'm 26 right now, and there are a lot of women I see that are 20, 30, 40, and they're attractive. And I'm like, but this doesn't make any sense, But I thought women peaked at 22. Why are 40-year-olds attractive? Have my standards dropped? I don't think so. If anything, they've increased. But it's a little tricky because the way these red pillars say that women peak at 21, it's kind of like a little trick, because on the surface it's like, hey, they peak at 21 because that's their looks. It's just purely looks, right? And then you back it up by saying, well, they're more fertile, their skin is more elastic, their face looks better because of that. And you just kind of look at them like, all right, hold on. That's not really a good comparison. Are you going to come up to your girl who is 22 years old and say, well, your skin's not that elastic anymore? Or 25. She's 25 now. Your skin's not that elastic anymore, so I don't like you. They're looking at peak as looks, but failing to consider that they're using very specific metrics, like women are more fertile. Well, men are more fertile at 18. That's not really a good comparison, right? And women that genuinely take care of themselves, there's absolutely no degradation. I haven't seen it. And again, I'm not saying this is the outlier to the general rule. I'm saying any person that really takes care of themselves ends up looking better. I'm not trying to make the argument that men and women age the same. Absolutely not. Way different aging mechanisms. But a woman that takes care of herself, takes care of her looks, some women can't possibly look their best when they're 21. They just can't. I know a girl that was, I don't know, 26, 27 years old that looked like she was 18. Not even 16. I would never guess she's 28 or 27. Never. So can you say her peak was 22? No. She's just starting to get into the gym, take care of herself, and starting to look a bit older. And you can say, well, does she look best? Is she going to look her best when she's 30? Probably. That's the interesting thing. Probably. And it's not some outlier. It's more like any human who takes care of themselves just ends up looking better. So, alright, my camera just died, but basically what I was saying is there are far more things to look in women than just their physical appearance, even though for men it is important how a woman looks. I'm not going to deny that. It's super important. I'll be honest, I'm not going to look your way if you're not attractive. Like, I'm just not going to notice you. And maybe that sounds shallow, but we're not looking to find out if, you're beautiful on the inside. We still are going to judge by the outside. That's just a thing, whatever. But what I am saying is you can still be attracted to women through more than just looks. Obviously, she's going to look attractive. She can look attractive as 30. Why do MILFs exist? Let me ask you this. Why do MILFs exist? Like, it's just attractive 40-year-old women. But also the way they carry themselves, right? The way they converse, their tonality, everything. They learn everything, their body's development. They don't look like little kids. In fact, I'm willing to bet that those same guys that say that women peak when they're 22 are the same men who turn 60 years old and start liking kids. It's just as simple as that. Thus, it's not even scientifically backed. There's no strong scientific evidence suggesting that. In fact, it's just that somebody was saying that, or maybe a few people, I know a lot of people were saying that in an echo chamber about that stat of like women peak in their 20s or 20 when they're 21. And it's been said so many times confidently that people started believing. Even I believed it for some time, until I just opened my eyes and I was like, wait, this is not the case. It's just simply not. And while of course I can find a 20-year-old attractive, but I can find a 40-year-old attractive. And it doesn't mean a 20-year-old guy should go and have kids with a 40-year-old woman. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying maybe when you're 50, your 45-year-old wife is still going to be attractive to you, and she's not useless. She's not spoiled goods. She takes care of the kids. Like she does so many other things, right? And you can still maintain your attraction. So, just saying, lately in my life, I've seen so many women that are older than me, and I'm like, they are attractive women. Can't say anything. Can't say anything about that. I know my own girlfriend is going to be more attractive when she's 25 than she is right now, which is like in 5 years. So, yeah. And I also talk a lot about these things in my community. If you want, check out link in the description. And just to put this out there, I'm not blue pill, red pill, alpha, beta. I'm not into any of that stuff. I just open my eyes, live my experience, and derive whatever information I need that for my own gain, for me to use. And the interesting thing is that, yes, there's a lot of overlapping happening in whatever your belief system is, but it doesn't have to be one specific thing. You don't have to be extreme on one end or extreme on the other. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle.